Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Monday, the 24th of July, 2023, just after 6:30 p.m. Central Time. I hope you missed me. If you did, could you give me the thumbs up? Because I am back. I took my week off. And by the way, I had some wise guy go, oh, you left Ira right in the middle of earnings for you. Number one, I didn't leave anything for my paid subscribers. I took off 2 days. I worked for them through the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings, did all the videos that I do for them from the subscribers. And I told them, I think we should take off Thursday and Friday. Let me get fresh, not even look at financial markets, and I'll be back Monday. I did just what I said. So I took off 2 days. Now, let me see, how many people do what I do every day and take off every now and then 2 days? I give you a lot for what I do. But you always get somebody that I call, hey, give me more. I'm there. I want it all for free. And I asked him, are you a subscriber? Of course he's not. Okay. So he is right, though, with one thing. We have the big earnings season on us, but we'll talk about that in the other videos. We'll do that in the Spider ETF. In this video, just keep in the back of your mind what you're facing is futures markets. Number one, you have the Fed, the European Central Bank, and the Bank of Japan Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I believe it's next week we have the Bank of England. Expect the European Central Bank and the Federal Reserve to go 25 basis point hikes. There'll be lots of talk, of course, that the U.S. has done. This is the one and done. We've heard that over and over. The problem is they can't get to their goal if it's one and done. I'm not saying they won't do that, and I'm not saying the goal is wrong. I'm not going to say either of it. There's no point in it. Every time, regardless of what happens, we go through the same thing. And all you got to do is play it the same way. Can I be simpler than that? At some point, it will be done. I'm going to say one more now. Then I want to see what I say all the time. Show me the data. I'm going to have the ability to see in August the July data, in September at the beginning, the August data, and I'll tell you what I think they're going to do. All right, do I think we're close to them ending? If the data weakens, but that's a problem. The problem is the labor market's so strong. I'll give you something that I ran into. Sunday, returning to Chicago, the plane gets delayed for some equipment problem at O'Hare. As it turns out, the plane's 2 hours and 20 minutes late by the time we took off again. So thank God I hadn't left the place. We knew it was late. It's an hour and 20-minute drive to the airport. So we had it all timed. We were in good shape. Got to the airport, blah, blah. Then I'm noticing we wanted to get to something. We had plenty of time. We had about 50 minutes before boarding. And again, they hadn't set what it is. You got to clean the plane and everything. And so I go and I order a burger and whatever at the bar to fly home. And I'm with one of my friends, and we're doing it. My wife stayed there for another week. And to make a long story short, the girl says, I can get you your drinks and everything, but the food's going to take 35 minutes. I said, 35 minutes? Why? We're shorthanded, real shorthanded. And I'm looking, the bar's hopping. The restaurant says, yeah, it'll be that. So I said, okay, we have the time. It'll be close. If I can't, I'll pay for it anyways, order it. Here's how I'd like it done. She says, it's so busy, I don't know if they can do it. Well, to make a long story short, they did it the way I wanted. Literally, they're calling us to board, and the food came and everything was great. Get in the plane. And it's crazy. Plane's taken off on time, everything. And then, of course, the flight attendants come out. Beverage time. Unfortunately, we have no ice. Everybody's listening and they go, this is crazy, they go. But we had even told them ahead of time, we're delayed, we need it. There's not enough help at the airport in the food service areas to bring the ice out for us. I asked the flight attendant before, as I was coming in, through the door to go to my seat, is the plane full? He says, they're so shorthanded, they're not answering us. So if you think that the jobs are being full, you're wrong. In the town I'm at, I go Saturday night to what we think is the best restaurant in Polson for music, dining, for that type of atmosphere. It's beautiful. We get to the door and there's a sign, closed. Go, what do you mean you're closed? Talk to the people. Our staff didn't show tonight. You go to Verizon for hire signs. You go to a tire place, they're hiring, okay? It's everywhere you look. It's not that this is just a community on the lake. Drive into Missoula, you say the same thing. So I still see what I see in Chicago. These jobs have not gone filled. And I question if people want to work. I don't know, but just got to tell you my experience. Okay. So on the S&P, we continue to rally. And, you know, I think the Dow's up 12 days in a row. I don't remember that. So that's better than 2 business weeks. Every day's a higher close. Wow. And you're seeing that on the weekly charts as they're all being dragged up. It was doing this before I left, and it's still doing it. As we take a look at the action, you're suddenly going sideways. You've got higher lows, but suddenly lower highs. So the market's coming down here, going sideways here. Which way it breaks out is anybody's guess, of course. The trend is up till it's not. Now, if you take out today's low, which was 45.59.75, an outside day up, I'd get a little bit concerned at that point. Then I'd say maybe the market's ready to give us a short-term correction. The most I'd be looking for, if it occurs, if that break happens, is possibly the 18-day average of closes, but I certainly wouldn't want the market to get through the 45.90 level if it first starts down like we're talking and then goes up. That I wouldn't put up with. As for how high, well, upper Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Bands have done their job in a fabulous way of stopping rallies, okay? When you look at it, they've done it. You've reacted from them, and then you've gone up for new ones. That's been the biggest surprise in the market. When I look at momentum, you're embedded. So until the red line closes underneath 79, I think the market on pullbacks continues to get bought. I certainly, and one of the things I teach in my charting course, is when you're over the red line, the 18-day average, even if you get markets that say, hey, we should break, I never tell my clients, at this point at least, to go short, because the bias is up. There's different ways to play. Eventually, I'll have rules for you on lost embedded readings, blah, blah, blah. A lot of stuff coming down the road. Okay, in the NASDAQ, you lost that reading. So if we step back together here, I'll show you what I'm talking about when you lose them. And here we go. So here is the market. It's embedded. You've got several days where the red and the blue are over 80. When the market loses that under 79, I'm looking for the 18-day average before you get up through that high. I feel pretty good about that. I teach this all in my enhanced Bollinger Band course, by the way, how you do it market upon market. Does everything work all the time? No, but there's always a safety valve. Hey, this isn't working. Here's how you come out, blah, blah. Higher lows, higher highs embedded. Much stronger looking chart than the S&P. You don't see the sideways action with the lower highs. It just keeps riding the Bollinger Band. It gets over it, then it pulls to the right-hand side and keeps riding it. And when you embed and you do that, the sky is the limit. Don't be a hero. Don't pick a top. The Russell is flirting. The word is flirting. Winking the eye at you. Will it lose the embedded reading closing under 79? If it does, the 18-day average. Notice I haven't said, hey, everything's going to turn bearish. The first thing is if you lose the readings to get back to the 18-day average. Notice I'm not saying buy or sell. Why? Because anybody that's a regular viewer of mine here knows that I refuse to stand on that train track as a bullet train's coming down and saying, I can jump quick enough to get out of the way of something I didn't expect. No, you can't. How do I know? I got gray hair. I've been doing this since '69. I've done it. Younger guys, I know you're going to tell me, oh, you're an old man, you don't know. Okay, I am an older man, but I do know. Lower highs, lower lows into the support right here, overbought market, marking time. But it refuses to get itself into a bull run. That's the important thing. Same thing happening in 5-year notes, and actually it's throwing out interim bear signals until the highs of today are taken out, saying maybe further downside. Makes sense. Market's going to look at the quarter point hike that is likely. In the dollar index, I'm looking for the peak here. Peak. Do you understand that? I'm not saying go bearish, but when you lost the embedded reading right here, I'm looking for the closest moving average, and I would not hang around much longer. And on the downside in the euro, this is a cover-all short area. It's that simple. You had an embedded reading, you lost it, and I know you're going to tell me, oh, Ira, you're giving this up. The easy money is made when you come out of the embedded reading. Take the course. And by the way, that's where it either is going to work or not work. And I know the percentages that they should work. I'm not sharing that with you. You do your own work. Take my course. Learn that. And you'll say, Ira, I get it. I get people, my subscribers do write me. I write them back. And away we go with all that. I am very attentive to the people that pay me their needs. Lower highs, lower lows. Bearish. Still looking like if it wants to come down here, it could make a run at that Bollinger Band because they don't have their central bank meetings this week. So still in the bear camp. Bitcoin coming apart here. Had an embedded reading, lost it. Everything fell apart at that time. Now, September Brent versus September WTI. We've got to leave September. It goes off the board, I think the 31st. So you've got a week left. What I did is I've already moved, since we might as well, let's just keep talking, a futures contract that you can trade better and hold if you get a position in it. I think October makes a lot more sense. The volume is still September. The open interest, though, will move to where I said. Well, you're trying to embed. How many days do we have over 80? Well, you can't count tonight because we don't know where that's going to be, but we know where Monday was. Both numbers were over 80. Both numbers were over 80 barely the day before. So guess what? It's going to be today, Tuesday's trade that determines does it embed. But let me tell you what Ira sees. You went to the upper Bollinger Band. If you've taken my course, you know what I'm going to tell you. You're not embedded. You're up there. So long. Same thing in September WTI. No, you're embedded. So when you're embedded, you treat what you do up there different, and I'm not going to share it. You take the course, the Enhanced Bollinger Band course, iraepstein.com, under education. Embedded. Before I left, I said gasoline's gone. It didn't do it for the 4th. It's doing it for Labor Day. I haven't changed my opinion at all. This is a powerful market that I think can still go further. And in nat gas, when we were down here, I said, you got to be careful. Now the hot weather is due to go across the country, and that's what I think is happening. In Chicago, we're going to hit starting into the mid to high 90s tomorrow through Thursday minimum. That's Chicago. We're on a lake. What do you do away from the city? It's going to get much hotter. So this heat bubble is moving up. You know the problems they're having in Phoenix. They're shutting down trails. I can't believe people are so stupid as to go out in the 115-degree weather and decide to walk trails in the sun. It seems, I lived there. I went to college there. I know the terrain. You can't do it in the summertime. There's always somebody that thinks they can. That's why they have helicopters and they try to get them. You put it together, you come up with a game plan, and that's what it is. So as I look at this marketplace, I try to work it with you. Now, in the mornings, and I'm talking early morning, 5:15 in the morning, I'm recording a futures video. I'm covering 40 different charts, both daily often and weekly. So if I have a trade, I'll show you, hey, let's take a look at the weekly. Is it saying do this or don't do this? I'm looking for reference points, and I'll walk you through that whole process. We'll talk the day's fundamentals. We're going to talk about, hey, what is going on in the market? Are there big reports coming out? What are the events today? What's happening in Asia and Europe overnight? Remember, it's 5:15 in the morning Central Time. This thing will be ready for you around 6 in the morning. Away you go. I do the same thing in the ETFs at 9. Why 9? Because I want to get to the point where all the major government reports are out. They're typically done by 9 o'clock. Let them get in the market. Plus, I think that what you have to do, unlike the futures, which trade 23 hours a day and so many of them, you've got to let the money in that first half hour of cash trade deal with what happened overnight as they balance out. It's a process I've seen. Again, I owned a stock firm, so I know what I'm talking about. I've seen this stuff back and forth. I let that go. You may not agree with it. It's what I do. You go to iraepstein.com. Under the word education, it's there. Let's assume you go, oh, no, I don't want to give you anything. Fine. Go to free offers. If you haven't tried a free offer of it, try it there. How's that? You decide what you want. But don't shortchange yourself. There's a whole week of activity now right in front of us, and it's going to light up for the month of August. We're not going to have any more Fed action for 2 months. Come on, join on board. Why do you think I went away now? Not later on. There's a reason. I'm Ira. Thanks for watching. Give me the thumbs up, I hope, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.